Hey, what up, YouTube? What up, Detroit? Back to you with another video. This is Noble Creation TV, and I'm your host, Rail. Basically, what I want to talk about is about the Detroit Lions. I want to talk a little bit about the offense and how the offense needs to flourish this year. I want to talk about, first of all, quarterback Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford is probably top 10 quarterback. No, not probably. He is. He is one of the most prolific quarterbacks in the league. Even though he's an under the radar type of quarterback, he doesn't get all the publicity. He doesn't get all the notoriety or fame like the other quarterbacks do. And sometimes you don't need that as a quarterback. You want to be more a guy that gets the job done. And so basically, what I want to say is that Matthew Stafford has grown a lot, and we see the growth without Calvin Johnson. He was able to get the ball around to different players and not just focus on one receiver all the time. Yes, Calvin Johnson was a great receiver for us, and I still, right now to this day, I got a lot of respect for Calvin Johnson because of what he did for the Detroit Lions and the organization. And I hope that they rekindle um, the relationship. Basically, I want to just talk about the wide receivers and the tight ends and how they need to get better and help Matthew Stafford out. He can't do it on his own. We need guys catching balls, man. It's just plain. It's just plain and simple. Is that we just need guys to be able to catch balls and passes. Golden Tate, who is one of our most productive receivers and consistent receivers. He started off slow last year, but now that you see that he started off slow, it's not always how you start off, but it's how you end. He started off slow, but he came on with the blast, and he had a great season, man. And I want to give a shout out to Golden Tate for that. Shouts out to Golden Tate for starting off slow, but being able to finish great. And one of the plays that stood out for Golden Tate last year was the play in Minnesota where he caught the ball, stopped on a dime, shook loose one guy, broke off a tackle from another guy, and did like a samurai flip into the end zone, man. Sweet, man. That play is sweet. That's going to probably be one of his highlights in his career forever. That was a sweet play, man, that he was able to pull that off. And I just want to say kudos to him for just coming back and believing in himself. He started off slow, but he came back and had a great season for the Detroit Lions. Kudos to Golden Tate for that. Another guy that could be better is tight end Eric Ebron, who should be a red zone nightmare. That's what his nickname should be, red zone nightmare. Because the reason why I say that is because Eric Ebron has the skill set, and he has the capability of doing it. He's not a little guy. He's not a little tight end. He's about 6'4". And he should be able to do it, man. And he's very athletic. So I'm thinking that Eric Ebron, a successful season for him is having at least 6 or 7 touchdowns, man, and probably getting close to 700 or 800 yards receiving. That'll be a good season for Eric Ebron, and he just has to hold on to the ball and catch the ball. Now, also, it's another person that I want to talk about is I want to talk about Marvin Jones. And basically what I want to talk about Marvin Jones is that Marvin Jones started out he started out real good. He started out well, man, especially when he had that 200-yard receiving game. When he had that 200-yard receiving game against the Green Bay Packers. And I don't know what happened, if it just, the chemistry, or he wasn't concentrating like he used to, or he wasn't focused like he needed to be, and he kind of lost his way a little bit. But we hoping that Marvin Jones will have a successful season as well. And now that we brought in rookie wide receiver Kenny Golladay, who I think is going to be a surprise player in this league, and I think that Detroit Lions have gotten themselves a steal by getting Kenny Golladay. even though nobody expected them to go after a wide receiver, we did because we do need to have another wide receiver on the team because we need to groom the young guys. One area that the Detroit offense lacked last year was the run game. We had a committee of running backs coming in last year, and you know that we had Ameer Abdullah, Theo Riddick, Zenner, Dwayne Washington, and whoever else we can get to run the ball out there. Um, and we did not have anyone that was able to rush over 1,000 yards, and that has to change this year. We have to give Matthew Stafford some help and just not relying on him to come up with 500-yard passing games all the time and 400-yard passing games and 5 and 4 touchdown passes, or even 6 touchdown passes a game. We got to have the running game, man, to help him out. So I'm hoping, I'm hoping that Ameer Abdullah is able to eclipse 1,000 yards this season, which would help out Matthew Stafford, not depending on his arm all the time and depending on him to make plays. But we got other guys that can come in and step in and make plays for us. So I think that the Detroit Lions are headed in the right direction. We went and we did what we needed to do for the draft, and as far as drafting some defensive guys to help us out on defense. Um, we need to get back to that level where we was a few years ago when we had Sue on the team, when we had the number one, I mean not number one, but the number two ranked defense behind Seattle. We need to get back there again. So, so I'm just hoping that we can get back there, that we can do what we need to do as a football team to get better. The offense has to get better. The wide receivers have to stop dropping so many passes and help Matthew Stafford out and not make him look bad, but make him look good, man. It's time, man. It's time for the Detroit Lions to get to the next level. And the next level for us is eventually one day being able to get to the Super Bowl. And it's not good. It's not good just to get to the playoffs, even though for us it is because we can't get out of the first round for some reason, and we always shoot ourselves in the foot when we get in the playoffs. So we just got to be able to we just got to be able to be consistent as a football team and win games and win the tough games on the road. That is one thing that I see that we have to be able to do is be consistent. So that's what I'm hoping this year that the Detroit Lions can do is get more consistent on the offensive side of the ball. We also will be grooming the two quarterbacks, the second-year quarterback and Jake Rudock, and also Brad Kaya will be grooming him as well. So those two guys will be fighting for that number two position. So I'm just hoping, man, that the Lions can get better on offense. We got the players to be able to be one of the top offenses in the league, but we have not yet proven that we can do it. So we just need to come out, play like it, and do it. And we need our run game to help us out. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about what I see that the Detroit Lions need to do on offense. We need to stop dropping balls. We need to have more focus on offense. Matthew Stafford has to get more accurate with his passes. Golden Tate, more consistency from him, which is a good thing because Golden Tate is our most productive receiver. And Marvin Jones just needs to come in and focus and get back to how he was playing at the beginning of last season with us and continue from that. Now we're bringing in a rookie wide receiver in Kenny Golladay. All he has to come in and just come in and play well and do what you need to do to establish yourself as a wide receiver in the league. And Ameer Abdullah has to be able to eclipse 1,000 yards rushing. So hopefully Ameer Abdullah can stay healthy for a season, and that he can prove to everybody that he is a good running back. So we need a better run game. We was almost pretty much dead last year, dead last in running the ball last year. We got to get better. Zenner played well when those guys went out. Dwayne Washington has some. He showed shadows and flashes of being well and being a good running back as well. But we just need the guys to be more consistent. Now I know that we signed Matt Asiata on the team as well. And I think he's going to be like one of the guys that come in and help give veteran leadership and be a short down and goal type of guy. So we'll see what goes on, but the offense has to get better this year. Detroit Lions have to get better if they want to compete and go to the next level and stop losing in the first round of the playoffs. We got to get better on offense and we got to get consistent. And the number one thing is that we got to have an elite defense. We got to be able to stop people. If you can't stop anybody, you're not going to be able to go to the big dance, and that's the Super Bowl. And that's what Detroit Lions eventually want to make it one day. And I think that's the only thing that Matt Stafford has to do now is to get to the big game. And it's been hard to do it. And we know that as Lion fans, no team has probably felt hurt besides the Cleveland Browns, but no other team has felt the pain of losing like we have. And it hurts, man, just being a Detroit Lion fan and constantly losing to Green Bay every single year for the North Division title or just losing to them, period. So we got to get better. We got to get consistent. And we brought in some new offensive linemen. So hopefully the line will be a little bit better and they'll make some holes for Ameer Abdullah or whoever's running in the backfield. Um, I don't know how much the undrafted guy is going to play, Tion Green, but we'll see what goes on this season. Just hopefully everybody can be healthy. We know that injuries do happen in football. It's a physical sport, but hopefully the Detroit Lions offense can be more consistent this year. That's what we're preaching is saying that they need to be more consistent on offense and you have to get better on defense. You need playmakers on defense. So this is Noble Creation TV signing off. Um, I've been your host for today. My name is Rail, and thank you for watching. Peace.